Okay. Hi, Shar.
Hey, Reg.
And hello to our listeners and our viewers. And welcome to...
Which is no one.
Yeah, which is probably not that many people, but welcome to Underqualified.
A podcast where we don't... What is it?
Where we talk about that we are underqualified to talk about.
Yeah.
And clearly. This is the first episode.
This is the first episode.
Could you tell?
Yeah.
I don't think they could tell.
I don't think they can tell. I think we're really professional.
Yeah,
and
we're the most professional.
Sound really good and...
Call her daddy who?
Who?
Don't know her.
Don't know her. No offense. Alex.
Yeah, no, I actually don't know her.
Yeah, I will never know her.
So why don't we introduce ourselves? Shar, you can go first.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I had a whole spiel, and now it's gone. But I'm Shar, senior in a music industry program. Do I say where?
If you'd like.
Oh, yeah, Drexel University. No one's going to come for me. It's okay.
They might.
Damn, so you think I'm pretty?
Hello?
Senior at Drexel University's music industry program. Study on the business side. Gonna be a lawyer.
Ooh.
I'm not really all that exciting. I got really boring when I got to college. And
I think you're pretty exciting.
Maybe you're also a boring person.
Ow.
Boring people. Here we are.
Birds
How are
of
we
a
going to
feather.
entertain them? I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't think... Should we stop while we're ahead?
Yeah. All right, bye, guys. That was the pod.
That's it. We were
All
never
right,
ahead.
well, that's me in a nutshell. We'll find out more about my personality as we go on.
Yeah, y'all will see as we go on.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Regina.
Hi, Regina.
Hello, everyone. And I'm also a senior. I'm 21. We'll be 22 soon. That's scary. Also music industry, also business track. I'm an artist manager. I manage a very talented artist by the name of Amara J.
Ooh.
R&B. She's really cool, very talented.
Very cool. Very talented.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's not... I hate the whole introduction thing.
Yeah,
it makes me
let's
really
just not
weird
do
and
it.
uncomfortable.
Like, I hate myself, so
Like-
I don't like talking about myself.
Like, when you go to class for the first time.
Yeah, what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I was about to say I don't want to be here, but I'm actually excited about
No,
this
I'm
podcast.
also excited to be here. This is us. This is
This
free
is
reign.
us. Yeah. No, we get to talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
And what we're talking about today is...
Yeah, speaking of classes.
Speaking of classes...
It's September. We're going back to school.
We're going back to school. I mean, a lot of people are in school.
I was going to say a lot of people already are in school.
It's Drexel drought time right now.
This is true. I mean, well, when I was in high school, like we started pretty late in September also. So
Okay.
I'm used to this.
I think I started like the first week of September, like the 4th to 5th.
Yeah, I would start like second or third week of September.
Oh, wow.
Like we would start in the middle of a week. So
Mhm.
like second full week of September, we would start on like a Wednesday or Thursday. So
Okay.
we'd have like half a week and then we'd
Mhm.
have a full week.
Got it.
I think.
I think mine was similar too.
I don't know.
My memory is not that good though.
But anyway, so since we're going back to school, we
Yes.
decided that we should give some of our back to school tips and tricks, things that we can't
I have
live without.
no tips and tricks.
No tips and tricks. I mean, to be
I
fair,
got some stories.
yeah, no, we can talk about stories, but to be fair, we haven't been in school for a while. I mean, we've been in school, but like at home online.
I think we're like the only people though that are like actual students. Like everyone else is a freshman to me.
True.
Everyone else other than yeah, they're all freshmen. Honestly, I still probably
we're
will act like
the
a freshman
only
again.
grade so far that actually had a full year.
Yeah.
We had a full freshman year.
Like we experienced college for
Yeah.
like a good 30 weeks.
I feel really bad for the grade under us because they didn't get a full year. They
oh
were
my
cut
god,
off.
they missed spring term. And
Yeah,
at
they didn't-
Drexel, spring term is the most fun.
Mm-hmm. Spring term just in general is always really fun. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
like
winter's really
everyone's
hard.
getting out of seasonal depression.
Yeah,
like,
the winter's very hard, especially
Yeah.
in Philly.
I agree.
But
The streets be snowy.
yeah, I'm kind of excited. We're supposed to go back to in-person classes,
Mm-hmm.
even though COVID is still running rampant.
Yeah.
But hopefully,
As of right now, we still
Yeah.
have classes in person.
crossing fingers.
I'm hoping
I'm
we
actually
have
kind
like
of
a term
excited.
at least. A singular
At
term would be
least.
nice.
At
I know
least.
at Drexel it's like 10 weeks of our lives.
Which
so
is it's a very
we
short
can
amount
make
of time.
it. Everyone is vaccinated, right? Like
Hopefully, I mean they're gonna require.
I'm pretty sure vaccinations are required
Mhm.
for.
And if you have like any
students.
like health exceptions,
Yeah,
then-
yeah.
But I mean,
park your
I
ass
don't
at
understand.
home.
Everyone makes such a big deal. Like, you have to get vaccinations before you come to college anyway.
Yeah.
So what's the deal?
I don't know. If not, just stay away.
Just go home. Go home. Stay home.
So yeah, I think that's what everyone's like biggest like concern this year is going back in person. Like, who knows how to socialize in general before COVID?
Oh my God. As soon as things started opening up again, I was like, if anyone asked me to like go out places, I'm gonna say yes, because I missed a whole year of my life. I turned 21 in COVID, and you did too.
Oh yeah, I guess I did.
A lot of us turned.
It was more
21 in
towards like
COVID.
the end, not the end because it's not over, but like people were vaccinated and like.
Yeah, but I didn't really have like a whole thing for my birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, like I had a great birthday. We just like hung out
Mm-hmm.
in my apartment, but we didn't get to go out.
Yeah.
The first time I went out was in like June or something like that.
I don't even
And then I got
know.
sick.
Oh, you know what? But that's because
Not with COVID. Not with COVID. I didn't get sick with COVID.
I was gonna say, how
I
come
just
you didn't
got
tell me
like
this?
there was like a viral thing going around because everyone was
No,
so
I also
safe.
got sick.
Everyone was so safe for
Our
over a year.
immune systems were like pieces of shit.
Exactly. And so I got sick, and then I finally recovered, and then I went out again, and then I got sick again, and I was like, this is
our
too
bodies
much.
can't keep up anymore.
Oops.
Regardless, like sure we might not get COVID, but I'll get everything else. Like I remember like spring term rolled around and I was like, didn't get COVID, like I'm good, blah, blah,
I know.
blah.
I got the flu shot for the first time.
Allergies is what got me. Can you believe that? Out of everything going on, I mean, like, grateful.
Yeah.
But those allergies were killer.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
But what was I saying? What was I talking about?
Something about socializing.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I turned 21 in COVID. And so since things were starting to open up again, I was like, I'm going to go out whenever anyone invites me out because I've missed out. I get so anxious beforehand. I'm like, oh my God, like whenever
Crippling.
I see like a lot of people, I like it takes me a while, but like just the leading up to it part, I get so anxious. I'm like, oh my God.
Even when there's like a decent amount of people in my own apartment, I'm like, this is interesting.
I mean, I'm like pretty comfortable if it's at your apartment or if it's at my apartment, but if we're like, oh, we're going out and we're going to be in a group of a lot of people, I'm like,
yeah.
I get so anxious.
I already had like, I was a very social kid my whole life, I would say. And then I got to college and all of that changed. I still am very social. Like I am very lucky to have a lot of friends and we sometimes go out, like we do certain things. But like right around sophomore year, like fall term sophomore year. So that was 2019, maybe? Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
I literally was like, no, I'm just gonna like, I made up so much bullshit. I was like, oh, I have a law exam in the morning, can't. I just didn't want to go out. Like I hated it. And like, I think I got like, that's when my social anxiety started spiraling because I was like, well, I could be in a sea of people that I fully know everyone and that would just like, I couldn't be there. I'll get so nauseous. I had to leave. Like I would like start panicking, throw alcohol down my throat in hopes that would help.
Throw up.
No, honestly, like
crying and throwing up.
Yeah,
currently,
basically. And then COVID happened, and I was like, yeah, like I don't have to go out anymore. But then when the time came where I was like, COVID started like settling down, people were getting vaccinated, things were opening up. I was like, okay, I'll try it. Like I'll see what I've been missing out on. I was like, nope, this is what I feared from the beginning. I hate this. And like everyone was turning 21 and everyone's birthdays and like I was like, okay, suck it up because you missed a whole entire year of your life and now it's the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been the type of person to like go out somewhere and just like be the life of the party. I'm like not that person. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be like at a party, just like in general. Like I'm usually just comfortable just going out and just, you know, being in a group of people or like, you know, like going to parties, whatever. Like I didn't really care too much, like as long as I was with people that I knew and like friends and stuff. Like I was comfortable going into like a room full of people. I mean, house parties, house shows, there's always a lot of people around and stuff. So I've never been like anxious to go like out places, but like now when I'm like there's gonna be a lot of people, I'm just like anxious being there because I'm like there's so many people. I mean, part of it is just COVID anxiety, just because I'm like there's too many people.
Yeah.
But also I don't know. I'm not claustrophobic or anything, like, but I think a lot of people are just developing like agoraphobia, just a general social anxiety.
Yeah, because like
and being around
people. I feel
people.
like if you don't really know me too well, like we're not like close or anything, you would never think that I get like socially freaked out, I guess.
Yeah, because you're like a generally confident person.
I look like one, I guess.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
I fake it till I make it. But even some of my closer friends will be like, since when? Like, every time you're out, you're like talking to people and you're like, whatever. And I'm like,
it's the liquid courage.
That's me coping because I'm afraid of how people perceive me. So I guess that's really just what it is. Like, something kicks in sometimes when I'm in that mental state where it's like, I have no choice but to be social right now because of the situation I'm in. Something like almost adrenaline like kicks in where I'm like, fake it, you got it.
Yeah,
like,
no, I feel that. I feel that.
But in my head, I'm like, can't wait to go home.
Mm-hmm. I remember this winter was really hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard because winters in Philly, January through March is just a really tough time.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, it's cold. It snowed a lot this year,
Mm-hmm.
and COVID and online classes and stuff. And once spring came around, more people were moving back onto campus. And my friend and I, we went to the coffee shop down the street to go and sit outside. We were like, oh, we'll do some work outside. Mm-hmm. We opened our laptops and did no work because there were people around because it was spring and it was getting warm and people want to be outside. And it wasn't even anywhere near to how crowded campus usually gets, but there were more people than I'd seen. Usually in the winter, if you walk on campus, there's 2 people, like max, walking around.
It's like ghost town out
exactly.
there.
And so we went out and we were just staring at people. We're like, oh my God, we're looking at people.
Yeah.
And like some people had their masks off because I think it was around the time when
people were getting vaccinated. Yeah,
vaccines started.
It was outdoors. Yeah. It's getting nice out.
Yeah, when vaccines started to get like introduced and stuff. And we were just staring at people. We're like, oh my God, I haven't seen people in you forget, like 6 months.
Like people exist like outside of a computer screen, like a little box on Zoom.
Yeah, and I was like seeing people in person for the first time in like a year because we were in online classes. And usually, at least with music industry, we have a really small program and we would always, everyone knows each other. And we all pass by each other with classes and stuff, even if we're not in the same class. And it, like, I hadn't seen people for a year and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you actually in person in forever. I see you all the time on my screen, but that doesn't count.
I think like the biggest thing though is like, we'll figure it out. Like, people are like so nervous about, it's a mix of like excitement because like life will be normal. I am excited
to go back.
But then also, like, a lot of people, especially the 3 years of freshmen that we have, they're like, I don't know what to do. How am I going to make friends? Like, been seeing those TikToks where it's like, how my first week of college is going, and they're all crying, wanting to drop out. They don't have any friends. I'm like, stick it out. I think all of our friends.
This is what we should talk about. We should.
Yeah, like a lot of our friends too. I'm not gonna name any names, but like everyone was like clinically depressed freshman year, like the first half especially. I think we were all just scared, and I think we were all just like so used to home lives and we're getting homesick.
It's scary. It's a big transition. COVID or not, transitioning from being a high schooler to college is a big jump. Like, you're moving away from home. You're living with people you barely know, and you have responsibility to take care of yourself. You have to survive. Like, you go from being able to rely on someone to, I don't know, like drive you to school, make you dinner, I don't know, I guess like just generally keeping you alive, and all of a sudden you have to keep yourself alive. Yeah. And it's really difficult. Yeah. It's a really hard transition, and especially with COVID, because like you said, we have basically 3 years of freshmen. We have the juniors who didn't get a full year of freshman year. Yeah. The freshmen who started college in the pandemic. So a lot of people haven't even been to campus.
Yeah, they're sophomores now, but they haven't even been to school
exactly.
yet.
And then we have the actual freshmen. So it's hard. It's a really hard time.
We're going to have to be like older siblings in a way.
We are. I think we should give them a little bit of advice on how to make friends and meet people.
Yeah. Well, my freshman year, which was a long time ago, but I was going to a house show. I think it was the day like all of us went, that first one we saw Ocean Heights. Yeah. And I like wasn't really friends with you guys, and it was just like I was just kind of friends with Nico at the time, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll go with you guys, whatever. And then this one senior came stumbling out of the venue, house show venue, whatever. She goes, "You're music industry?" And I was like, yeah. Like the last freshman, the senior was talking, couldn't even tell you who she was. I don't remember. But she was like, go in there and make friends. Doesn't matter who they are. If you think that they won't like you, like, make friends with them, because that's going to be your network when you're older.
This is true.
Like, okay. And then I like was just like so I was like kind of nervous because it wasn't like the crowd I usually am used to. Like I'm not used to the music scene 'cause I never was. That wasn't a thing where I grew up, like the music scene. So it was always just like athletes and like whatever. Scholars, exactly. Like my school was like heavy on STEM stuff, so it wasn't really like an arts school. I don't know how I got into this program, couldn't tell you. But
you had a good resume or good grades?
I had good grades.
Good grades.
I had good grades, I will say. But
you're involved.
Yeah, I was involved. But anyways, I was like, this is a bit out of my comfort zone, but I just did it because this drunk senior was like, do it. And I said, okay. She said jump. I said, how high? Really?
I mean, the thing is, it's hard to make friends in general. No matter how, well, I mean, it gets harder as you get older.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of adults are really, they stay close friends with people in college. When you're in college, especially when you're a freshman or like during welcome week or any orientation, that is the perfect time where it is socially acceptable to walk up to a stranger and introduce yourself and be,
I mean, I think
say,
it's always
like, can
socially
we,
acceptable,
you know,
but
be
like
friends?
people like get freaked out about that when you're older.
Yeah. I mean, like obviously, like college is the best time to meet people and stuff. But I'm saying the most socially acceptable to walk up to someone you don't know, have never seen before, and be like, "Hey, can we be friends?" Is during the first couple weeks of college.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I would, and a lot of people might disagree on this, but like even if it's literal hell, I would try to make it to at least December, the end of December, the end of your first term of college.
Right.
And see how it is. It might suck for like the first month or whatever.
Just college isn't for everyone.
Yeah. But I would just say give it to your first term, a first full term, see how you like it, experience it in its entirety. And like, I don't know, even if it does not seem like it's for you right away, just, I don't know, give it some time. And
time will tell. I mean, like if you're telling yourself college isn't for you and you don't want to waste time, it's not really a waste of time, because if you spend that time to just, you know, sit in it for a little bit, you'll at least 6 months or however long a term is, or not 6 months, like a semester.
Semester, whatever. September to December.
That amount of time is so minuscule in comparison to the rest of your life. So if it really isn't for you, you'll figure that out. Yeah. But also, if you spend that time and you hate it up until that last moment, and you're like, wait, suddenly I kind of like this. Maybe it is for me. You just don't want to, like, I don't know, regret it.
Don't quit too soon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like encourage people to like put themselves through miserable experiences.
Right.
And if it's not for you, like, I'm a full advocate. Like, not everyone needs college. You know what I mean? Not
There's
everyone
so many
wants
successful
college.
people who have never been to college.
Exactly.
A lot of people who haven't graduated high school.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I'm not trying to say you need to go, but I would just like wait it out a little. Yeah. Because there's so many things that are happening in that first term that would make you not want to be there anymore. But those are things you only have to experience for that one term.
Also, it's okay to take breaks.
Yeah.
If you need a gap year, either in between your senior year of high school and your freshman year of college, if you need a gap year after high school, take your gap year. If you need a gap year between your first and second year, take a gap year. Take a gap semester. No one says you have to finish college within 4 years. Yeah. That's fake. You don't need to do that. Take however long you need to. Some people, it takes them years and years
and like
to complete
in that
college.
year, you might learn more than you ever thought you would at school.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Cool.
I mean, going back to making friends, I mean, I don't know how housing is for people this year, but I lived in a suite with five other people. So there were 6 of us, and that sounds like a lot, but it honestly wasn't that bad.
I loved my suite.
I had a great time living in a suite.
Because it was like we had 2 people in a room, so it still felt like traditional, but then we had our like common space. It kind of felt like
a kitchen and everything.
Yeah, kitchenette.
Yeah.
But it also kind of felt like you had automatic friends. Because like sometimes when you have...
It's also a great hangout space.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, some people love traditional dorming because then they could go like on their floor or like whatever their financial situation is. But like, I really liked my suite style dorm just because it was like, I automatically have like this little group of friends.
Exactly.
And I still am friends with every single person in that room, in that suite.
Yeah.
So it was just like, whatever, like it was fun. I don't know if everyone will like it because that's like a lot of, for some people that could be considered like a lot of people in one space.
Yeah, some people are not about that literally at all.
But it was nice. Like it was like an automatic little
Yeah,
built-in
I
friendship.
really liked it, and it's nice to.
Your suite was iconic.
Yeah, I loved my suite.
I was in Regina's suite most days, most nights, and there was like always a bunch of us over there.
Yeah, because not everyone else had as big of a space as we did, and
there was a lot of people in your building because we had like
right.
the same similar layouts, and our suite was kind of the same, but we lived in different buildings.
I think mine was a little bit bigger than yours, right? At least the living room. I think. I don't know.
We were never in my apartment though.
Yeah.
I mean my suite, whatever.
Because basically I got really close with my roommates, and we were just like a core group of people, and then I met a bunch of people from my music industry major.
Yeah, a lot of music industry kids were in your building.
Yeah, so I made friends within my major, and I was friends with my roommates, and I was like, why don't we just combine the group? I've just invited people over, and we all just became one big
two friends
group.
were across the hall, like down. No,
one was across the hall, the other one was down the hall.
Oh, okay.
And them two became best friends.
Yeah, they were besties.
Yeah. Oh,
one
of them left.
Yeah.
Like school. It's
okay. Okay. Anyways, not getting into it.
But then we would always have people over because we were just. I think.
Hot
fall term freshman year, we were all just like really excited. We were just really young and
freshman year is so exciting.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
3 freshmen. You're all gonna be excited.
Yeah, 3 years of freshmen. It's really exciting, and I mean, it did get hard.
Yeah, I think my biggest advice is like it doesn't matter the school, no matter what, you go to the fanciest university, you go to the biggest party school, or you go to this little ass college, doesn't matter. There's gonna be times in your college career where it's gonna suck.
Absolutely.
And it's not dependent on the school. I mean, some of it can be dependent on the school, depending on certain situations, like we've seen on social media recently with certain Greek life. Let's keep it at that before I get heated.
Don't be a piece of.
Don't be
basically.
Yeah, and like
be respectful of people.
And just know that it's gonna like work out some way or the other. I went to literal Jesus camp. Let's not get into it, but like
also, just because we both had really good experiences with roommates doesn't mean that that's always the case.
Yeah.
We're honestly kind of in the minority with that. I remember when I would go to like family events and stuff, people would be like, oh, like, you know, how's college, whatever. And I'd be like, it's great, and they'd be like, oh, like, you know, how are your roommates? I was like, I have 5 roommates, and they're like, oh my god, you have 5 roommates? That's terrible. And I'm like, no, it's actually really not that bad. But I know a lot of people have really terrible roommate experiences, and sometimes people just don't work out living together, and that's okay.
Yeah,
like sometimes you can be friends with people and roommates don't work out, or sometimes you're really not that good of friends, but then when you become roommates, you become great friends. And it's hard learning to coexist with other people, especially people your age who also don't really know what they're doing. And for me, I'm an only child. I only live with my parents and stuff. So that was new for me. But it's, I don't know, I feel like it makes you a more empathetic person.
Yeah.
And being able to take other people into account.
Yeah.
And being respectful of other people's boundaries and being able to learn how to create your own boundaries.
I feel like you mature a lot when you live with other people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah, that does make sense. And also, like, your living situation, I don't know what it's like in other universities. Like at our school, you only have to do like university housing for 2 years, but it's like every year, like your freshman year, if you don't like your roommate, like that's only that 1 year. You don't have to deal with it ever again. Yeah,
and if you have other friends who live in other buildings or other rooms, you can always go there. Yeah, and hang out with them.
And like if
which is not like ideal.
Yeah, if there's ever a time where it's like really, really bad, you have an RA. Figure it out. You know, that's what they're there for. But yeah, that's only like a year of your life. You'll I don't know. Here's the thing. One of my friends who's younger, like his freshman year, did not like his roommate. Random, was not fun. Same thing happened again his sophomore year. And then now it's just like, okay, but that's over. Like, we don't have to deal with that again. Like, he's a junior now. You can live with whoever you want, do whatever you want. And like, things are only temporary. Like, you can't look at your situations that might suck as the rest of your life, because if you think about it long term, it's not going to matter in the following year. I'm like that with a lot of things in my life. I'm like, this may suck right now, but if I look forward to my life a year from right now, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. Also, you get to learn like how you are with certain things. Like, you get to learn like if you're a night owl versus like a morning person. You get to figure out, you know, if you like to hang out with your roommates a lot, or if you like to have your own downtime, you get to learn a lot about yourself. And with that, you can create boundaries and just express that to other people. And I feel like that's also really important, learning about yourself and your needs and stuff, which can then trickle into, I don't know, if you end up in a relationship with someone and you end up living with them, and you're like, this is, you know, how I work and how I function, and we can, you know,
also just
figure
like
it out.
You may not realize it, but maybe you shouldn't live with your friends.
This is true.
Or like some people who are like, I know, who've been like, yeah, I'm not really friends with my roommate, but he's a great roommate. Like, he cleans up after himself.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
He or she or they, or just is a very considerate. And maybe they don't talk, but they're a good roommate. And that's what some people would prefer sometimes. So you'll like figure it out as life goes on, especially after that first year. You'll see what you do like, what you don't like. Don't be afraid to tell your friends that may want to live with you, like, I feel like it would be better if we just didn't live together, but like we could still always hang out, and like you're always gonna be my friend.
It's like working with your friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be really good friends, and working together in business doesn't necessarily work.
Yeah.
Or, you know, sometimes you can only have a business relationship and you don't really have like a social friendship outside of it. I think with us, we have, you know, a good understanding of work versus social life. And, I would normally be hesitant to work with somebody, but I'm very comfortable working with you. And we are like a business
girl
setting.
bosses.
Or like, we are girl bosses.
Girl boss side.
Girl boss. But I think, but yeah, no.
Yeah, because we're like, our work ethic is very similar. I think that's another thing when you could find with people you work with that you consider friends is like, find people who have similar work ethic with you. As you,
not too similar though, because sometimes if you're too similar, then that's when you butt heads.
Because we like, for instance, for this thing, like I write up paperwork and tell people like, you're cool, let's make you sing in front of people, and Regina's like editing everything behind the scenes and like learning new equipment, because that's not me. With that stuff, I'm brain dead. Like,
you
what
need just
this is
compatibility.
Yeah, but we have similar goals and aspirations.
True.
That we value. And have a specific way in which you want to achieve it.
Exactly. And I think, or at least I hope that this podcast does well.
Yeah,
this is the first episode. I don't know.
Like, hi mom, you're probably the only one watching this right now.
Maybe it could be bad. maybe we'll hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Maybe.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. Probably. Fun fact: we actually already hate each other.
Yeah. We're not friends.
Not at all. I hate that. If not, we'll have to learn how to blur that out.
I gotta leave. I'm being bullied. Being bullied on my own podcast.
Okay, our own podcast.
I'm sorry. See, I'm already getting bullied. I'm already messing it up. Okay,
right.
So let's talk about things
Actual
that
school.
we can't live without.
Yeah, for school.
Okay.
I think the obvious. Let's just start off with the obvious.
Obviously, laptop.
Just like some sort of internet source. Like, I like my iPad for school a lot.
Technology. I know a lot of people are kind of moving into the iPad sort of realm.
I like my laptop, don't get me wrong, but like, it's heavy. I have back problems. My iPad's just been convenient with note taking, with readings and stuff, and I don't really need, like, for the stuff I do for my classes, I don't really need an entire laptop, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really, I'm more of the note taker that kind of just like barely takes notes. I'm more of a listen and process, and then I'll go back into my notes later.
I'd love to tell myself that's what I am, but I forget immediately. I'm like, if the professor has slides, give me the slides. I'm not gonna.
Those slides are not it for me.
Like, I'm not like a write down type of gal.
I do. I got a legal pad. A few legal pads.
I don't write very fast, first of all. Second of all, my handwriting is very slow. And if a professor's talking and I'm behind on notes, I'm gonna miss the next thing that they say. So I'm way quicker with typing. And, you know, if I make a typo, like, just
fix it later. Yeah.
Or like, I'll know what it says.
For me personally, something I wanted to try out this year that I think would be the best for me is I got those like large legal pads that are like $1 at Target, and I'm gonna just process whatever and like chicken scratch whatever, because I could read my own handwriting, but like write down really quickly anything I think is necessary, and then when I revise my notes, I'll like later on like type it out. or something, like the chicken scratch.
I
and,
wish
like,
I could actually commit to doing that, but I'm lazy. I don't like doing all that.
I'm going to law school, so I have to do something about that.
I'll figure it out. I don't know.
And like the classes
That's
we
my
take,
style.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like we have like diagrams and shit to
That's
memorize.
true. We're not like bio majors or anything like that.
Yeah. So like figure out what type of style of note taking you like, your
Mm-hmm.
style of learning. I think that's really important. Because everyone's different, and sometimes teachers don't really understand that. So maybe you could like work something out with your like teacher.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't put slides up, or if he has slides but he never like sends them to you, be like, hey, do you mind sending that over or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have to, like, I don't know, I guess this is something that you would have to talk about with your professor. If you could record a lecture somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people are going to have like hybrid type classes and stuff.
I didn't realize how much I would appreciate a recorded lecture.
Yeah.
So I never did it I never recorded lectures, but then Zoom happened and COVID happened. Everything was recorded.
It's so nice to be able to go back to a specific time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that is really nice. I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe that's what people prefer.
And a lot of people have like learning disabilities and stuff. Like things should be way more accessible for people who have like audio processing disorders or people who have like dyslexia. What's the one?
The one I have?
Yeah, what is
dyscalculia?
it? Yeah, dyscalculia. Things like that.
Dyslexia of numbers.
Like, I think, I don't know. I mean, it's very obvious this past year that there can be accommodations made for people who have disabilities, people who...
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advice number one. Don't sit next to your friends. I'm friends with most of the people. So do I, but I'm like friends with most of the people in our major anyway, so it's hard to not sit next to someone you're friends with.
Yeah, we're all friends.
Yeah, because our major is...
we're at least all friendly.
Yeah, friendly. Yeah, I would say that. Because like, there's like how many of us now? Maybe 50? Maybe.
Really? I thought we were closer to in between 50 and 60?
Maybe.
I don't know. We started with like 80 kids. And we dropped
No, I think we actually did... I don't know, actually. I don't know anything. But we dropped a lot in numbers.
Yeah.
Like, we're definitely below 60.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's hard to tell, like, you're just going to be sitting next to someone of your friends, but like, it's really hard to get distracted. Maybe it's the generation we're in, but we get distracted so easily. And like, you'll see, like, I don't know, you'll see your friends in like the hour after class is over. I sit next to my friends because of our major, but I don't know.
Oh, side note, like, introduce yourself to your professor.
Oh yeah.
And
yes.
We have like a lot of like, recurring classes, and our professors teach multiple classes, so we've just had the same professors for our major.
Yeah, since
all 4 years, aside from like gen eds and stuff like that. But once your professors get to know you and they understand kind of how you work and stuff, if you need to ask a favor, they'll be way more.
Yeah. It's like gracious. All these doors open up for you when you're nice to your professor.
Yeah. And then you'll be comfortable with your professor, and it'll be easier to ask for help. Even your program
director. Like, I love our program director. Shout out Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. But he's also a professor for us, but he's also just, like, someone that it's nice was like, who do I contact for this? Or how do I get this ball rolling? Or something.
I love being on first name basis with professors.
Yeah. I feel like people don't do that. That might just be a music industry thing.
It might be.
But I don't think anyone is not referred to as, like,
their first name, yeah.
Other than like the Ryans or something.
Yeah, just because there's multiple of them.
Yeah, like, literally. I think that's what the dynamic... I think that's also great just because that's what the music industry is like, and they don't treat us like... I don't know, they treat us like, this is what's going to happen in the music industry, so let's just... I don't think I call any of my professor, like, professor. No. I'm trying to think. It
feels weird.
Not a one.
No. Only
Professor
professors.
Steinhardt.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Something that I have like this weird thing with like the date and stuff. I have like this whiteboard calendar in my room that I've had since high school, and I love it. I always look forward to the end of the month when I get to clean it off and then write, new stuff. It's really important to know what day it is, obviously, especially when you have classes that aren't every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because in high school, for me, I know a lot of people had block scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I had the same 9 periods every single
day.
So it's important to make sure that you go to your Tuesday class and not your Wednesday class, you know. And I always fill out people's birthdays, and I fill out if there are certain events that are happening, any appointments. Sorry to say, you're going to have to make your own doctor's appointments when you get older. I know it sucks. It's terrible. Crying and throwing up right now. I get it. But for me, I don't know. I just have this weird thing with like calendars and knowing like the date and stuff. I also have this little like it's like the Snoopy's like doghouse, and he's like sitting on top of it, and it has the little blocks.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always have to make sure I know what day it is and the date. Like day of the week and date.
I guess we're getting into things we can't live without for school.
And
but
so
totally agree.
I don't know. I
totally agree. Both whiteboards and calendars. If you know me at all, we all know how I am about my GCal.
Which I guess we can segue into this. For me personally, I have this is a 2020 to 2021 planner that I did not use because I didn't need it. But in here, for people who are listening and not watching, it's a planner with every single month. There's a tab for every month. And when you open it up to the month, there's a whole calendar. And same thing with the whole date thing. Like I would cross out every single day, every day at the end of the day. And then it opens up to, there's like, every day there's a list, sort of. I mean... so you can kind of organize it
for a to-do list,
how you want it to for every day, which is really nice. I know you like your GCal personally.
I mean, there's a plethora of things that I have to do in order to organize my life, but
when I have things to do and I have like a to-do list, I need to physically cross something out. This year I didn't really use this. This is way easier from, actually going to in-person classes and stuff.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. But this year I just used just like a legal legal
pad.
Yeah, mini legal pad, and I would just write the class and the due date, and I would just cross it out. And this was just like my kind of running list of assignments, and this has been very helpful to make sure I don't miss any assignments and stuff. Yeah.
Personally,
that's my organization for
I am the type of person that doesn't know how to chill. That before COVID, during COVID, doesn't matter. Every hour of my life had something to do. The only reason why I liked Google Calendar so much was because it's accessible on all my devices. Like I even have the little widgets. Hold on, let's see if I could. Like there's my little widget. I'm not going to try to, let me have to blur some things out. But I have that widget, and then I also have like the monthly widget. But it just like was so convenient because it's like, oh, I'm at class right now, but I have to run to a meeting. Like what do I have to do today? Swipe and then like see what my hour-to-hour schedule is like. I'm not really saying I like necessarily like time blocking. Like I don't like setting aside certain amount of hours to like go to the gym or go study. It's kind of just like I have to because I have certain responsibilities and appointments and meetings and classes with people. So I have to block out that time. Right. So like that was my whole thing. But in terms of getting things done, my whiteboard in my room is like my holy grail. Like before I got my whiteboard, I was writing on windows and mirrors. And
I remember your apartment sophomore year.
Yeah, because those windows were huge, so it was like so much to.
Yeah, she had big windows in her room, and like she would stand up on her dresser and just like write things on the windows, and I was like, what is this?
No, because I needed a week at a glance. I needed a daily to do, what the day was. I needed to see what my day's big 3 were. My big 3 is like, I have a lot of things to do today, but these are the main 3 things I have to get done. And then I'll do like next week at a glance, just like the important things, like if I have a test or if I have a doctor's appointment, something like that. Right. Like the major things for the following week, and then also like birthday, stuff like that. So that was all on a window somewhere or on a mirror somewhere or on a and now it's on my whiteboard. So I have my main whiteboard that has like my to-do list and stuff, and then I have another whiteboard that's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like just the weekly, like every single day, that more so has like events and stuff.
So figure out how you organize best and how you can stay on top of things the best.
I also have to just throw it in there, Notion.
Okay.
God.
Shout out Notion.
Shout out Notion. God, I hope they're like an ethically okay company. I'm scared to look it up, but like,
I mean, we use it to plan this podcast, and I've never seen anything so intricate as that.
But it also can be as simple as you need it to be.
Right. It could be
there's a lot of
whatever you need
power in it. Like you have so much control over what you want to be intricate and what you want to be simple, and it's very organized.
And for people who don't know what Notion is, because I didn't know what it was, it's just an organizational sort of
tool.
Yeah, tool interface, if you will.
Yeah.
And there's different templates that you can use for lists. You can insert documents,
yeah,
photos.
let me look into it a little bit right now before we...
Yeah, look up Notion. They have an app, and they also have a website, which makes things really easy to work on if you're not near a computer and you just have your phone with you.
Yeah, so like
simple.
For us, like we have our collaborative Notion page, but it's like content calendars, like stuff we have to get done,
and it's free unless you're working collaboratively.
Yeah,
then it's not free.
If it's personal, it's free. But like we have contacts, meeting notes, assets, stuff like that. So it's all, and you can like make other pages, and like if you want to do personal, like things I have to, like I have my own personal to-do list, things I want to get done. Started writing down like what my morning routines want to look like, so
That's
that
cute.
I mentally am sane. You're like, I'm like, you can make it as personal or not personal as you want. A lot of people put like their school schedule in there or something, just like work schedule, and
or just like any, like, I don't know, any important documents that you need.
Yeah, and it's just it's a nice organizational tool that's easy to use or as complicated that you want it to be.
Something else that I can't live without, I guess, with school. Find out what local coffee shops are near you. We used to have a Starbucks that was way closer, but they shut that one down, and I'm really upset about it. But we have a Saxby's. Get the app.
Saxby's.
Get the app and order ahead of time before, like, if you're getting ready and you're gonna pass the coffee shop
and you're going
you
to
need
class.
something, order ahead of time. Go in and grab it. Like, it makes it so much easier. Also, you can get rewards points. I don't know about rewards points. I can't speak apparently, but I think that's especially for people who need just a little something to look forward to in the morning. I love getting like a coffee or a latte just as like a little treat. Like if I'm having like a rough morning.
Or if you have like a back to back night
if you
class.
have back-to-back classes, or if it's, I don't know, if it's cold out and you just need something to wake you up.
I need to slip this in here. There's like talk about freshman 15 and like you move to college and you eat like shit, which is true. Some people go through
Most of that is beer weight.
But don't forget, there's also the like freshman negative 15. Like, don't forget to nourish yourself. Like, there was times where I would be running on like caffeine, other things, and like,
what is it? Those Belvita. If your diet consists of iced coffee, Belvita, and like a vape, maybe consider getting a meal plan.
Yeah, like literally, like don't forget to like feed your body, because that also is going to like affect your mental state and how you perform in school and like your really social skills.
Like microwavable meals and stuff. If you don't have like a kitchen like in your dorm or your building, you just have a microwave. Like there's a lot of things you can do with a microwave.
Honestly, the internet is free. There's so many possibilities. Like this sounds so cringy, but like I like going on YouTube and like seeing other little girl bosses and like what they do. Like my favorite videos to watch right now are like people who are in law school and like just like their lives in law school, so I can mentally prepare for what I have to deal with one day.
That's a good idea.
But like, say I'm walking on the treadmill and I need to pass the time, and suddenly there's like a 20-minute vlog of someone who seems to have their life together, and I'm like, this may be false and just a facade, but at least this can motivate me to also pretend I have my life together.
This is true.
So like just like see what other people are doing. Like, I don't know, this generation is very much like Google it and you'll figure it out.
We have the world's information like at our fingertips. Like this is like this little block right here. You can get whatever you want on here. You can order food. Yeah. You can order packages.
Or like if you can't or afford that, like figure out what meals you can make, because like grocery shopping is more cost efficient, whatever. Like, I don't know, just utilize what you have and like don't forget to be like a functioning human being. You know what I mean? That's important.
What's next on your list?
What is on my list? Hold on. Gotta open up the Notion. Where did I put it? Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, just like my AirPods and stuff like that. Yeah. Here's the thing. I am afraid of people coming up to talk to me. Even if I was just talking about this with Regina on the way here. Like, I am so deathly, if I know you, if we're friends, it doesn't matter. If I'm going out to just do my life things of that day, and I didn't plan on seeing, this comes into the social anxiety, and I didn't plan on seeing you or running into you, I will panic. So those AirPods are going in, and I'm gonna put the sunglasses on, mask up, and I didn't see you.
I always get so scared that if I'm like, every time I walk to the gym and back and I have my music going, I'm always scared that someone's like yelling my name and I'm just not hearing it. Because like that's like
sometimes I don't even play music. Sometimes
really?
It's just like
that's
in
a good,
there.
That's a good like blocker.
Yeah.
Because that means don't talk to
also
me.
Just
that means
like,
I'm not listening to you. I can't hear you.
Especially like when I used to walk to and from work and I would get scared, I would have those AirPods in just to make it seem like if someone, like I get catcalled or whatever, because that is the reality of living in a city and being a young feminine bodied person. But if I put those AirPods in, I'm always going to be aware. Like, pepper spray is clutch at all times. Sometimes I wouldn't even play music. Like, I would just have them in so that they're kind of like a deterrent.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So it looks like if someone were to call me, like the only reason I'm ignoring you is because I have my AirPods in, I can't hear you, but they're actually not on, and I'm super aware of what my surroundings are. Always be aware, especially to my young gals out there, like be aware of your surroundings at all times. Like I want you to make friends and be whatever, but you also have to like
be aware. There's some really
like
questionable
don't trust
people.
Too quickly. I'm not saying maybe that's my trauma showing through, but like
no, I think that's completely valid because like, you don't know.
You have
people.
to like protect yourself because like you go to college, maybe you don't know anyone, right? At the end of the day, everyone's out there. It's like every man for themselves, you know, every person for themselves. That's better to say. So I don't know. Just be aware of your surroundings, the people you talk to. Don't spill your life to a random stranger. Which some people do. Here I am doing it to the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like my biggest thing is I've always been an advocate for safety. If you could take that self-defense class, do it.
Oh, I'd love to take a self-defense class. Like a hand-to-hand combat class. I would love that.
Yeah. Like, especially if you live in a big city like us, it's really just essential at this point. Like, safety is so important. And you might not think about it because you live on a campus or whatever, but then you want to go out on a Friday night and you're no longer on campus and there's no longer security biking around you, then what, Or maybe you had too much to drink, which don't do that with people you don't trust.
Yeah, make sure you have some that you can...
Cup condoms, have you ever heard of those? Those are...
I have.
I really want one. That's genius.
It is genius, but it's
sad.
Also unfortunate.
Very sad, but genius. It's like these little things where if you go out and you're scared of someone drugging your drink, you could just put it over your cup and it's reusable, and you put your little straw through it because it has an opening, and it's
people can't put stuff in their drink.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess to consolidate all of that into one thing, college is hard.
Yeah.
It doesn't really...
I feel like we should talk about some happy moments.
I mean, I feel like we probably have to wrap it up at this point. But I mean, we'll get to more about college life in later episodes. But to consolidate this episode into, I guess, a few phrases. College is hard, and the times that we're living in is hard. But
I want to preface,
don't worry
like,
too much.
Yeah, like,
because
I'm having a great time.
No, it's a great time. Yeah. It's also...
I've met great people, fostered great relationships.
It's a time where you learn a lot about yourself. Yeah. And a lot about how you interact with other
not
people.
Physically, because I'm still short as...
You grow a lot, but also, like, don't worry too much. Like, you'll be okay.
It'll be worth it in the end, for sure. Yeah.
And speaking of, I guess, back to school necessities, we want to do this thing where, I guess, every month, right?
Yeah.
Every month we want to pick a charity or an organization that we just want to shout out. Talk about and give some light to. So if you want to introduce it.
For this month's organization, we wanted to talk about Cradles to Crayons, which is an organization that has a few locations, but they do have one in Philadelphia, where basically how we were talking about the things we need for school, they offer that to children in need of those school materials. So they do a lot of cool stuff. You could donate, you could work with them, check them out on their website.
We'll put the information in the description on YouTube, and we can also post it on Instagram.
Yeah, but they do a lot of cool stuff. I was watching their videos, reading about them, and it's just, this one woman was just like, I have the power to help all these children out who can't, afford, or for whatever reason can't get the supplies they need for an efficient and fun school
productive school year.
Yeah.
And these are hard times, and you know, if you can give, then give, because we should all be able to have the same
and it doesn't
amount of opportunities,
mean,
and
you have
be
to
able
give.
Yeah.
You don't have to give money. You could give your time. You could share it to someone who can give their time or their money or whatever. Or you could donate school supplies. You know, there's a plethora of things you could do.
Yeah, and the cold weather's on the horizon, and I'm sure that you have siblings or you have just clothes that don't fit you anymore, and make sure you donate.
Yeah, go to a local thrift store or whatever.
Exactly. But
yeah, so they're cool. Check them out.
All right. Well, thank you for listening or watching or both.
Or barely.
Or barely at all.
If we're your background noise, okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's okay.
I like to do that.
I'm cool with that. But this was a fun first episode.
Yeah, no, this was great.
Hopefully we'll get to do more and people don't, like hate us.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.